Today, we're going to expand our exploration into the shadows of suppressed knowledge and the powers hidden within us all. This video will turn our attention to the ancient art of dowsing, which is a mysterious practice where a simple rod or pendulum in hand can supposedly reveal buried treasures, hidden water veins, or even lost secrets of the earth. Powers, ends. But it appears that this is much more than folklore. It may be a gateway to the ultimate forbidden truth. Imagine harnessing the raw energy of your mind, your thoughts alone, to bend reality, locate the unseen, and manipulate matter itself. We know it can be done, but it's easier said than done, so it's going to take some practice to awaken and develop these powers. If you think this sounds like science fiction, you better think again. Declassified government documents from the CIA's infamous Stargate project reveal that dowsing wasn't dismissed as pseudoscience by the military. Rather, it was actively tested and integrated into psychic espionage programs. Viewers or trained operatives use dowsing techniques to pinpoint distant targets while blending psychoenergetic skills with cutting-edge experiments in remote viewing and biolocation. These files have been buried for decades, yet they discuss a profound human capability within human beings. That power is the ability to direct thought energy to interact with the physical world, perhaps even altering it on a quantum level. There will be a link to the declassified document in the video description. So the question is, why has this been kept from us? The answer is, because if the masses awaken to our innate power to shape matter through focused intention, the control systems crumble. There will be no more reliance on the deep state tech, their grids, or their contrived narratives. So join me as we explore these explosive revelations and real-world dowsing successes from declassified reports. Why? Because we seek to uncover how you, yes, you, might tap into this biggest secret of all. The veil is lifting, and it's not going to happen overnight, but with focus and patience, you will realize powers that you never knew you had. Are you ready to see what's beyond? According to declassified CIA documents from programs like Sunstreak and Grillflame, which were part of the broader Stargate project, dowsing is explored as a supplementary technique in psychoenergetics, or what they sometimes call anomalous cognition. Dowsing is often used to locate hidden or lost items, people, or targets. So if you are missing that special ring from 5 years ago, perhaps it will be appearing again soon. The definition of dowsing is the ability to locate lost or hidden items of interest, and it aligns closely with military training applied in operational search tasks. Finding underground resources, objects, or even individuals like hostages are just a few examples. Key techniques for dowsing practice draw from training procedures and session reports in the declassified files. Tools used which include pendulum dowsing, which was actually pretty common in CIA-related training. Trust me, I know that this is sounding very weird, but let's look at this practice from a quantum standpoint. A pendulum in dowsing acts as a sensitive amplifier for subtle bioelectromagnetic signals and neuromuscular energy within the human body. The pendulum bridges conscious intention to subconscious or buried knowledge, like deep memories, intuition, or what many call the Akashic records. The pendulum responds primarily through the ideomotor effect, which are tiny, unconscious muscle movements in the fingers and hands which are triggered by thoughts or subconscious impulses. These tiny movements generate just enough kinetic energy to start the swing. These micro-movements are too small to notice directly but get amplified by the pendulum's length and weight. They turn imperceptible twitches into visible oscillations. From a physics angle, our body produces weak electromagnetic fields from neural activity and muscle contractions. When we focus on a question, neural firing creates subtle electrical impulses that lead to involuntary motor responses. The pendulum resonates near its natural frequency, magnifying these inputs, kinda like how a guitar string vibrates from faint air movements. Studies show this happens when finger oscillations match the pendulum's resonant frequency, converting thought-driven neuromuscular energy into mechanical motion. This connects to buried records by bypassing conscious filters, letting subconscious knowledge like stored memories, patterns, or intuition influence the body's energy output without deliberate control. For instance, documented sessions in the declassified documents were called pendulum dowsing, and they describe how a pendulum, which is basically a weight on a string or chain, is held steadily, and subtle movements are interpreted as responses. Dowsing rods, which can be L rods or Y rods, are traditional forked sticks or bent metal rods that cross or dip when over the target. Sounds like primitive means, but in fact, it's not technology that we need. It's awakening to the solutions that are ours by design of the Creator. Map dowsing, which is most frequently described in operational sessions, uses a map or overlay with a pendulum or even a finger to pinpoint locations without the need for physical searching. I want you to understand that these are techniques that our military has studied and used. So what has the military known about summoning these memories that they've been hiding from us? First, it's important to enter a relaxed, focused state, kind of like what you might do in remote viewing protocols. Try not to let skepticism or overthinking get in the way, since the process is thought to work through the ideomotor response, those unconscious muscle movements, guided by your subtle perceptions, so you don't want to overthink it. Next, you want to clearly define the target. So, either mentally or out loud, you should state exactly what you're looking for, like, show me the location of the lost item, or indicate the position of the hidden object. Now, if you're using a pendulum, you'll want to program your responses. Basically, you need to establish what direction means what. For example, you might decide that a clockwise circle means yes, side to side means no, and forward back means maybe. So as with everything, you are the boss. You set the instructions for the universe to follow. The map dowsing technique, as detailed in operational sessions, starts by obtaining a map or diagram of the search area. Place a clear acetate overlay on the map. Hold the pendulum over the map or slowly move your hand or finger across it while asking questions. I don't know about you, but I never believed in any of this. Women determining a baby's sex is a well-known wives' tale, and now we are learning that it's more than tradition. And there is actually science to support it. Under your guidance, the pendulum swings, circles, or pulls toward the target location. Dowsers are instructed to mark their reactions and then narrow down by repeating the process on zoomed-in sections or grids. In one declassified session example, the viewer dowsed multiple map sheets blindly, using randomly oriented overlays to locate a person, and took breaks between attempts for accuracy. The field dowsing technique is traditional and referenced in military training documents. It involves holding L rods loosely in each hand, parallel and forward, or a Y rod with both hands. Walk slowly over the area while mentally focusing on the target. The rods cross, dip downward, or pull when you're over an item like water, metal, or a hidden object. One should ask directional questions such as, "Is the item this way?" Then observe the reactions. So this is very much dependent on your connection to your body and identifying tiny, nearly imperceivable movements of your muscles and neurons. If you are new to this, perhaps try to feel your heart beating or your blood pumping. Personally, I find those autonomic movements the easiest to feel, but I can also feel atoms and heat bouncing in my palms particularly. The most powerful advice I can give you guys is to close your eyes and direct your thought or energy to the inner workings of your body. Let's look at some advanced or programmed variations include using yes or no questioning sequences to confirm. For example, is it north of here? And then watching for the pendulum's response. You can also combine this with other methods, like holding a sample of the target material to create resonance. It's important to practice calibration by testing it on known hidden items, so you can build confidence in your own response patterns. Remember, if you don't have confidence that it works, it won't. So if you want to develop your dowsing ability, start with easy verifiable finds until you are confident in both the technique and your ability to perform it. These methods were treated as experimental in the CIA programs and often used as a secondary tool after primary remote viewing training. Results varied, of course, and the programs emphasized practice, relaxation, and keeping a non-analytical mindset for better outcomes. What does that tell us? It urges us to put aside the order and logic of the left brain and allow our creative connection of the right brain to play or explore. The scientific explanations tend to lean toward the ideomotor effect. Many spiritual traditions view the pendulum as a conduit for the subtle life force energy, also known as prana, chi, frill, or biofield aura. Focused intention directs this energy flow, and the pendulum translates vibrational responses from deeper layers of consciousness, such as the subconscious mind, higher self, or collective Akashic field, into physical movement. Practitioners describe it as the pendulum picking up electromagnetic radiations from everything, including thought forms, with your biofield acting as an antenna. Yes/no answers arise from energetic alignment or dissonance with the queried record. In energy healing techniques like chakra balancing or emotion code, the pendulum detects blockages in these fields. Scientifically, it's well-substantiated neuromuscular ideomotor energy. Esoterically, it's a tool for channeling thought energy to access non-local or buried information. Either way, the energy connection is real at the human level. Your focused mind energizes subtle bodily processes, and the pendulum makes them visible, potentially revealing insights hidden deep within.